on, everybody? Matt Besachio here for WMCT-TV and WMCT Sports, and this is the third episode of the Marlborough Shamrocks podcast. Last week, we were joined by running back Zach Rosses and offensive lineman Clay Baker. This week, we're lucky enough to be joined by offensive lineman Mike Hurst and star defensive back Daeshaun Perkins. What's going on, guys?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Hanging in there. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So last week, coming off your bye, you guys took care of Mill City 29 to 18. Next week, you guys are going to be playing the Boston Bandits coming back home, which you can see live here on WMCT-TV. But before we get into any of that stuff, I want to introduce you guys to the community, get to know you a little bit. So, Mike, we'll start with you. I want you to talk to us a little bit about your playing history with football and how you became a Shamrock.
I started playing Pop Warner. I was too big, so I played lacrosse. But when I got to high school, football was the first thing I wanted to do. So got out there, played high school, was lucky enough to play college. Finished up college, had a good friend reach out to me, said, semi-pro, we're starting a team, come join us. So I bounced around with a couple teams with him for a couple years, settled in with the Fury, and the Fury turned into the Shamrocks, and I was already there. And it was great because my grandfather used to play for him, so I grew up watching him.
When did your grandfather play?
Back in the 60s, back in the day, yeah.
Back in like the original.
The original Shamrocks, yes. Yeah.
Nice. What about playing lacrosse? What was that like for you?
That was a lot of fun. I got to play a little bit of attack, a little bit of defense. It was pretty cool just being the biggest kid out there.
Sure.
So no one could really mess with me, and I didn't do too well, but just being a big body out there and kind of setting picks and setting up the teammates around me to score, we did pretty well.
Yeah, I cover lacrosse all the time here in Marlborough, from Marlborough High, Amston, and Aspet Valley. And it's a really aggressive, violent sport. So I'm just imagining you at a lower level, all of a sudden, like some 10-year-old kid is just seeing you come across the field to lay him out. That must be pretty intimidating for them, man.
It definitely was.
Daeshaun, talk to me a little bit about your playing career and how you became a Shamrock.
So I started off playing Pop Warner, played high school football, played a little bit of college, and then I was done playing football after high school, you know what I mean? But then I played a little bit of college, and I got introduced to the Fury, and they were all right, but it was football, and I love to play football. So each year we got better and better, elevated, and then we became the Shamrocks. And I just only heard stories about the Shamrocks. They're just amazing, and it was just nice. We had the same guys from the Fury, so
you guys already had the built-in camaraderie and continuity, but you guys left Worcester, where it's safe to say the support probably wasn't what it was here in Marlborough.
Not even close.
Can you speak to just what it's like having that kind of support?
It's crazy. Like, there's a lot of people there. They know us. They come down. They're asking for autographs. It feels like family. I've never played for another organization. I've only played for Chris Chambers, and this is probably like it at the highest level. And even before this, I felt like the Fury life was the highest level. This just opens up the roof.
Yeah. Now getting back to just like on the field stuff. Now you're an offensive lineman. Now, when you're on the line, you're battling it out throughout the course of an entire game. What do you get more satisfaction out of, run blocking or pass blocking?
Oh, easily run blocking.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me why.
Just putting your will out there and dominating somebody and putting them on their back. I call it a roach because they look like a cockroach when they're laying on their back with all their hands up.
Nice.
Pass blocking, you're a little more passive. You're kind of reacting, whereas run blocking is just straight up. You're going out there and you're dominating.
Nice. Daeshaun, for you. Now, you're a defensive back. I've seen you all over the field, whether you're coming off the corner to come in for a sack, or if you're making a play on a ball in the secondary. If you had your choice, game-winning play either way, would you rather come in and take out the quarterback, or would you rather make the game-winning or game-saving interception?
Probably the interception.
Yeah?
And it would have to go to the house.
Oh, okay. That's the scenario?
It's imperative. I tell all my guys, it's like getting the turnover isn't – it's part of the game, but to get scores on the defense, like we score, then we get to come back out.
Right. So
we just scored. They're scared. They're going to come back out, give us the ball again. And then if they happen to punt, our offense is going to throw it down their throat too. And I think when the defense scores, it really opens up the whole team. I feel like that's the key, and I feel like that's what's missing at the moment. We need a defensive score.
Yeah. Well, your defense has been killing it this year. I mean, like, you're allowing just a little over 11 points per game. You guys are coming off that win, like I said, 29-18 over Mill City. It was a wire-to-wire win, second straight win. Michael, let's talk about the offense for a second. After that week one loss, I should say, talk to me about the improvement and how you guys think that you've bounced back the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, like everything, we need to stay focused. We need to keep working, keep grinding. We know we didn't have preseason games. The game against the Bucks was kind of like a practice for us. And when you don't have those preseason games and you're only practicing once a week, you're really set behind the eight ball. So it does take a lot. It takes a while to get in rhythm. But once we do hit our rhythm and our stride, the team's got to watch out for us.
Now, you talk about not having the extra reps through the preseason. We were talking before we started the show where you only get to practice once a week. But compared to these other teams, I mean, you guys have incredible amounts of continuity based on the lack of turnover each year. Can you talk to me about just the continuity from the team and the togetherness that you guys have?
Yeah, of course. I can only really ever speak on the O-line because that's what my position is. That's where my brothers are. But and I say it's a brotherhood, and it goes beyond just football and putting the pads on, putting the helmet on. It goes to the off-season work and working out together and getting in touch with each other and holding each other accountable 12 months a year. So when we do get to go out there and play a game, it's not just like, hey, you know what you're doing, right? It's, I know what you're doing, you know what I'm doing, you have my back.
Now, you're on the offensive line, but you're about as close to Blake Rice as anybody on the team. He's right next to you every single play. Yeah. Now, I've noticed over the last couple of years, first year or two, mostly in shotgun. This year, he's much more under center than he's been in years past. Can you talk to me about his growth and his development?
Yeah, I mean, the kid's an absolute stud. There's no way a doubt about it. And we want to make sure that when we get to any game that we're throwing wrinkles, we're throwing different motions, formations at teams. And going under center really just allows us to open up our playbook a little bit more and throw something else at the defense. It's not, hey, they're in gun, we know what they're doing. They're under center now. They could be doing a million other things.
Right. I'm sure having his experience and it just opens up the playbook so much more. Daeshaun, I mean, on your side of the ball, like we were talking about just a couple of minutes ago, only giving up a little bit over 11 points per game. What can you say makes your defense so potent?
Accountability. Everybody knows they have to do their job. Everyone. This year we got guys from all over the place that came from other teams and stuff, and they bring knowledge and a different dynamic to the game. So we're still gelling, but when we come together, when we gel together, it's gonna be another championship, and that's why I'm here. We're only here to win championships. We're not just trying to play football and kill time in the summer, and everybody knows that. And everyone knows that on Thursday and Saturday and every other day you have to bring your best, and that's what we do.
Now, you don't lack confidence, that's for sure.
Right.
Now, I had introduced you earlier as a cornerback, but you think of yourself more as just an overall defensive back, even more. Is there anybody on the defense or in the secondary, maybe I should say, that compares to you? What about Kyle?
I don't think anyone compares to me, but I think that Kyle is probably the best athletic defensive player that we have on our team. I feel like what I bring isn't just my athleticism. My mentality is really what gets me through the game. I'm not the most athletic. I feel like all the other DBs are probably more athletic. I'm old, I think Kyle is probably the best D-back we have on our team.
So he's the best D-back, but you're...
Well, he's the best corner. He's the most athletic defensive player we have.
I see.
Slime's one of a kind.
I'm the best corner. I'm the best DB, but I feel like Kyle is the most athletic and has the most potential to be the best anything.
Now, the defensive front, the guys up front and the linebackers headed by B-Hamp, they're nothing to sneeze at either.
No.
Talk about how they're impacting the game and how it makes it that much easier for you.
So Hamp, I feel like this year he's got an extra speed to him. He's sideline to sideline these past 3 weeks. There's this Bradshaw. He's a new guy, but I've had my eye on him. He has a motor. We got Nick Rossi, who's played for Taunton. He's played for the Lions. He's played for BC. He's a big help. Menace. Menace comes. He's an outside linebacker. He's so smart. He breaks down the offense of the other team. He knows what we should do, and he knows where we should be if we're not there.
Right.
All
right, cool. Well, that was last week. This upcoming game that you can watch on WMCT-TV live. All right, we'll get to the details at the end of the show. But that's against the Boston Bandits.
Great.
Big time semi-pro team. They've been very successful for a very long time. Daeshaun, when you see the schedule come out at the beginning of the year, is that one of the games that you circle?
Always.
Yeah, tell me why.
Because I'll never forget when in 2019 they came and they beat us and ran up the scoreboard. The first play of the game, they took it to the house, and it just doesn't sit well. So when we played them again in the playoffs last year, it was very personal. We get another matchup. They have the same mentality as us, so they're coming to get us, and we're trying to maintain what we have. So, and they're talented. So, we're gonna put our best foot forward and try to dominate them.
Yeah. Speaking of one of their talented players, their top wide receiver is number 0. What's his name? Bobby Novello.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 4 touchdowns on the year so far. Is he gonna get number 5 this weekend?
I doubt it.
Yeah. No guarantees. That sounded like
Well,
depends if you match up, right?
He's definitely not going to get a touchdown.
All right, that's what I'm looking for.
He's definitely not going to get a touchdown. I didn't want to be too straightforward. He's not going to get a touchdown.
All right, I like that. Now,
number 0 with 0 touchdowns.
Heard it here first.
There we go.
All right, so, not necessarily focused on like the Bandits necessarily, but Mike, we were talking about before. I meet you and you seem like this really amiable, really nice kind of guy. And all I've ever known of you over the years covering you is that you're the guy in the sidelines that yells at fans when they're not cheering loud enough. Now, I could add a couple of expletives, but we're trying to keep this PG. But, can you talk to me about, what it means to your team for you to be that emotional? And, what does it take to get to that level for you? Because it seems like you go from 0 to 100 very quickly. Is there some secret or something that you do pregame to get yourself worked up?
No, there's no secret. I mean, that's who I am. Is I know when I'm going out and I'm putting my body on the line, right? I'm going out with my brothers. If I'm not out there setting the tone, or if I'm not out there giving 110%, someone else has to. And I want to make sure that when I go out there, I'm giving everything I have because I want to win. That's the only thing I want is a win. Mm-hmm. I hate losing. That's a mentality I have. It's a mentality I've always had. So Monday through Friday, outside of Thursday nights of practice, I'm very calm. I'm relaxed. But Saturday, you got to turn it up. Once that eye black goes on, once the headband goes on, it's guerrilla mode.
Now, I would imagine that at some point throughout the years, somebody has probably been like, "Hey, man, can you take it down?" Or you've gotten in somebody's face, and somebody's like, "Hey, and I'm not the one." Is that ever happened to you?
A lot of the refs tell me to relax. Yeah, I find myself yelling at the defense or the offense if I'm out and being like, "Hey, you guys need to do this better." And like you said, might throw a couple expletives out there, and the refs definitely get on you about it. And it's like, okay, I need to step back a little bit. But when it comes to game time, I'm not talking trash or anything. I'm focused on my job, my guards' jobs, what the offense needs to do. I don't care who's across from us. I'm doing my job. I'm focused on that. I'm focused on winning. And that's, there's nothing outside of the O-line to me when we're out there.
Well, I know I can speak for myself, but I'm sure all the other people that are going to make it out to the game on Saturday night are looking forward to hearing you yell at them so they can take it up another notch. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I know, Daeshaun, you drove like an hour to be here. You had to fight traffic, so thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
No problem.
For you guys at home, just remember, their next game against the Bandits is in a couple of days, Saturday night, 7 p.m. live on WMCT-TV. For Comcast subscribers, that's Channel 8. For Verizon subscribers, that's channel 34. If you don't have cable, don't worry about it. We still got you. If you have the internet, of course. We're going to be on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So check YouTube and Facebook to check out the links. All right, we'll see you guys in a couple of days.
Yes, you will.
All right, good luck to you.
Awesome. Thank you.
We'll see you next time.